Hello and welcome back to the Sochi series. Just for another thing here now, I've done a small experiment here, just 3 years in the future. I've played on 3 years and just see how things fare out, and then I'm going to compare it against the AI, see how they do, just to get a comparison sake. I don't really think there's much ever done for it, so we'll go through that. So we'll just start with the transfers. In the first season, we made 17.75 and only spent 2.2 million. Which I think was mostly loan fees, actually. Now I sit and look at it. Golishnikov come in for 1 million. Actually turned out to be a decent enough signing, actually, so he did. Loaned him in July. Could help if I remember what months of the year. But and then bought him in January if he was doing well. And Stanza was just an option. And in terms of outs, there was 17.75. Alsop and Salah both went. That's the majority of it. And just small bits everywhere else. In year two, we bought 35 million worth of players. Sorry, Ruslan, fuck's sake, I never thought I'd have to pronounce these names. But he came in as a right winger for 12 million. Jesus Valenzuela, 10 and a quarter. Igor Koshnikov for 8. Kudinov for 3.6 and just as smaller than everywhere else. And in terms of outs, Jerbak went for 20 million, Rabka went for 20 million, Nikiao went for 13 and a quarter, up to 14 and a half. Lee Alexander went for 11 and a half, which was good enough for getting him for nothing. Josh McPeck went for 1.6 and with a smaller than everywhere else. And just the most recent ones. I sort this right. We've spent 23 million, made 27. Sorry, the second season made 68 million, which was fair enough sign, mostly from them two players. But we'll come back here now. Third season, we've made 27 and a half off of Ibrahim Medvedev, who sold the chain for 22 million. Prakan to Bologna for about 5, and just a smaller than everywhere else. I'm trying to remember. Musev wanted to go for he sort of be comfortable and said I've achieved everything, so I just sort of he's here long enough, so I just sort of let him go for it. And just a smaller than the money everywhere else. And in terms of players in, Jean Batista Licata for 10 million. He was a wonder kid, he's now just a midfielder, which is fair enough. He's played well. Dmitry Nemisov for 5. Igor Mazalovsky for 2.1. Maxim Lorinov for 1.8, who is a centre forward. Vladislav Radkov for 1.2, and just a smaller than everywhere else. But I've started on this screen because I'm trying to hide one detail, so I'm trying to work out where do I go next. We'll go for Club Info Wonders here. Best 11, we'll go through in the past 3 years. In terms of players, there's the best 11. Petrukin, Alsop, Prakin, Jerbak, Konyakov, Musev, Nikhil, Rabka, Banez, Lesavoy, and Alexander. That didn't really change much. Alexander came in as a centre forward and played well, that was it. And the bench was normal enough. This second season was a bit different. I went for this to make us a bit more solid defensively, but all it did was really stop us scoring. So I've just noticed I've actually given away what I was trying to hide here, but we're going ahead. But I went for a back three, 2 wing backs, a diamond in the middle and one up front. It worked out well. Neil turned out to be a pretty good player in this system, but it didn't really get much out of my centre forwards. So I abandoned it the following season and went back to this. So it has a similar sort of look. Petrukin's still there, Konyakov's still there. Musev did that well. Didn't know that. Neil was there, Banez was there. So the team still has a similar sort of look about it to when it quit. But the new players come in quite well. And I'm going to go on ahead here now. Just and see how far out here. For I'm not really sure where to go next, to be honest with you. I'll go league, so well. I've just given it away there, so we'll go back to this season, so well, which is the first one. We'll come fourth, 55 points. Fair enough, I think it was season before we come second, so didn't work out too well, but still got European football out of it. I think if I remember right, we went out in the group stage of the Champions League, and then the next round of the Europa League, so it wasn't too successful in Europe. This season, we've come fifth with 57 points. We actually got more points and finished a position lower, so we did. But, and this season, fifth into the Europa Conference League, that is again. But we actually made the semi-finals of it that year, and were put out by Brighton. So, fair enough. And the following season, we actually won the league. So we did. 72 points. Only conceded 14 goals. I noticed that there. But sure. Won the league, and also just smarting our way through here now. 3 teams in the Champions League now, so I was alright. And as well as that, if I go in here now and see general competitions, winner of the league, runner up twice. We also won the Europa Conference League that year. So, just show you a bit of the run here now. I'm going to the second knockout round, so well. As you go to the first. We won the group, so automatically went into the second knockout round. We beat Gdansk, Ludogorets. To be honest with you, until there, we got an easy enough draw, to be honest with you, like. There's some big enough teams in it. Feyenoord, Copenhagen, Villarreal, Wolfsburg, all the other Russian teams. Then this round here with Ludogorets 4-1. Then absolutely demolished CSKA Moscow 7-2 in aggregate. I think it was sort of consistent results. I think it was a 4-1 to 3. Or no, was it a 4-0 and a 3-2? How long did I see? It's this most recent season, so I should be able to see. I was right, it was a 3-1 to 4-1, so alright, and then beat Villarreal in the final. And who did it? With we'll pull it up here now. With a goal from Korzakov in the 68th minute. So that worked out alright, and that worked out very well. We won it too. Just something a bit different. I think the winner of it goes into the Europa League, I think. I think that's where they end up. So it is. But since we won the league anyway, we'll the Champions League first, so it would. But that's the whole league wrapped up. We've done it in like 3 years, got to the league, but overall I think it took us 8 years. Which probably isn't great for for a team that was already in the division. To take 8 years to climb up the league is a bit difficult, but it's Russia though, so due to the rules in place that having to have 17 or only having 8 foreign players in the squad and all that makes it a bit more difficult, but sure, it's very rewarding, so it was, and just that's it really. Like I'm going to go into the second bit here now, which should compare us again the AA, so we'll see where we're fared here now. Back here now, just with a quick spreadsheet so we can compare everything. I've tried to make it a bit easier to sort of use. So season 1's green, season 2's blue, season 3's orange, and overall white total. Just sort of looking between the AA and myself, we haven't actually made money, or we've made money every season between us all. In the first season, the AA spent more money, so that's the difference. They spent more money. We spent a tiny amount. In the second season, they spent very little and also only made 5 million, but that was fair enough. It was a decent enough, whereas we went a bit mad. Mainly, I think that's because of changed formation in the middle of it, so that's probably what helped there. But nah, so with a 33 million profit that year, and in the last season, the AA went a bit mad and sort of made money, whereas we didn't really. We only made 4.5. So overall, we made 53 million, and the AA only made, well, I say only, but made 33 million, and just our next. Sorry, that's not what I meant to hit. What I meant to do was this block here. The matches. I only actually picked the league matches for here because the reason to pick the league matches, not all matches, just there's 30 games in the league consistently. It's not. We're not counting European because it's different rounds in the European matches, so we're not going to count that. And just sort of looking through, the AA actually on battle. The AA actually on battling us in the first. Had a battle of me in the first season anyway, so they did. Just noticed 17 wins to 15. Although we drew more, and finished up 2 points lower. So, fair enough. But they finished the position up higher. That would have made a difference for, I think, third that year was the Europa League. But they didn't do much with it, like, so. They're just going to here now. Was second season was where it all sort of went. Was where it all went the way I sort of would have expected to go, to be honest. Although we've made 10 times more money, we also finished far higher up the table, 5th compared to the AA doing 8th. And with 16 points better off, and also a far better goal difference. They have -2, we have +19. Which I suppose really lends itself into things. It's a 16-team league, so if you're finishing about halfway down it, you sort of expect to be about not, I suppose. And then season 3, where the AA got worse again. You finished 11th this time. Only with a -3 goal difference, though. It's a bit weird. But they've scored less and conceded less as well, so the defence actually improved, but the attackers far worse, whereas we massively improved, only 14 conceded, never actually seen that before, and 53 scored, so given plus difference 39, so overall, just sort of look at it here now, the AA made £32,650,000, we made £53,050,000 in 90 games each. We had a win percentage ratio, of 58.89, and the AA had 41%. We also lost about a third of the games they did, and won more, and which blew them out of the water here in terms of goals scored and conceded. For we scored 151, they've only scored 118. So there's your results. We won the league the third season and won the Europa Conference League. The AA didn't win anything. And progressively got worse, actually. So my main sort of takeaways from doing this here is that the AA, surprisingly, actually done better the first season than I did. Which sort of surprised me, but progressively got worse. I thought I had left Sochi a good enough base that this didn't happen. But if you watch the last video, the 5-year save to the end, it actually picked up again, so it did. I think the next couple of years they did finish in European places again, so it did leave a good overall base. It just, they didn't like the players that left, so that must be what it was. And we were able to win the league eventually. When I started this out, I didn't think it would have took 8 years though. I sort of thought we would have done it in 5, and at least I did manage to end up doing my overall target of actually winning a European trophy, although it's Conference League and nobody gives... Well, I can't say nobody gives a shit about it for it hasn't actually happened yet. But I don't think anybody will, really. But... so that worked out alright. We eventually worked our way up to winning the league, sort of not comfortably, but we did win it with a game or two to go. So that's my overall conclusions. The AA did better and sort of picked up. We carried on the progress we were doing. I don't know if this would normally happen, but on every save, or if it was just this one, so. Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye, good luck. And that just ended abruptly like that. I'll just say now, I am planning doing a couple of saves, or I am going to do a beta save. It'll be with Newcastle. Maybe the first video of the series will explain that, but we'll do that there. Then I'm going to do a save with Warren Point Town when the actual game comes out. So that's a Irish League team, if anybody's wondering. Warren Point's a town in Northern Ireland, so that's why I picked that. And just to see how things fare out there, see can we make Northern Ireland any good, while also making Warren Point any good. Can we? Anyway, I'll leave this here now, so this experiment's all done. And thanks for watching, goodbye, good luck, and I wish you well.